What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Keeping It Real podcast, where every week we talk all things movies and TV. I'm your host, James, and I'm joined as always by Jack, Calvin, and Reese. This week, we are looking forward into 2021 to get excited over movies that potentially may not even come out. We've compiled a list of the movies we can't wait to see in 2021, with the exception of any MCU movies, because we talked about all of them just a couple of episodes ago. Before we get started, does anyone have any honourable mentions they want to give a shout out to?
So before this, I didn't have one, but now I've got two. My serious note is I want to watch that Gucci film.
What's that?
Lady Gaga and Adam Driver, House of Gucci or something like that.
Is that Ridley Scott?
Yeah, I think so.
Right.
Just looks...
freaking out 2 in a year again. Right, so one of them is destined to be shit.
Blimey. Well, that's a bit strong for 2 minutes into this part. And the other one, I actually can't believe that we didn't discuss this one before. Fast 9.
That was on my list.
Unreal.
That looks bonkers.
That was on my list and no one else had it.
It's I forgot about it, to be honest, until I just did some research.
Did everyone like Hobbs and Shaw?
It was shit.
I did the first time, not the eighth time I had to watch it.
Yeah.
I was already like checked out of it being, a properly good film when like The Rock jumps off that building and then Jason Statham takes the elevator or something.
Brilliant. Yeah. Cinema.
It's just...
Falcon and the Winter Soldier will be doing that next week, mate.
Yeah. No, Fast 9 is going to be sick.
Yeah, I can't believe it's not on our top 10.
Whatever they do, I think what the director said after Fast 8, when asked will it ever go to space, he was like, absolutely, if we can get the story right. And I literally read that, I was like, the story...
If we can get the story right.
The story will never be fucking right for that to happen.
It doesn't,
but
doesn't
I still
have to be
want
right,
you to
does
do
it?
Oh,
no.
I wouldn't be surprised if we go there in this movie.
I want you to do it, and if you don't do it, you're a coward.
Saving it for 10.
Who cares what we think? I want to see Vin Diesel fight an ex-professional wrestler on the moon.
Reese, what's yours?
I got two as well. You're going to shout at me for one because you already did yesterday in the chat. But my first is In the Heights. I just really look forward to it.
Yeah.
I love the
music.
music.
Miranda, it could be good. And you know what? I'm looking forward to Cruella. Because you know what?
Boo!
You know what? I think Emma Stone's going to pull something out the bag, and it just seems like the Joker, but Disney.
She'll be great, but I can't be arsed with another Joker movie.
But this time it's a girl.
Calvin?
I think I'm going to go for Blonde, which I don't actually know much about, but it's directed by Andrew Dominic, and I think he's one of the most underrated modern working American filmmakers at the moment. So he directed Chopper, The Assassination of Jesse James by the Carol Robert Ford, and Killing Them Softly, which I think are great.
Yeah.
It's about, I think it's a story about Marilyn Monroe. I'm not sure when it's set in her life. Yeah, and it's Anna de Armas. I will look forward to anything he does because he releases things so sporadically. He seems to go like 5 years or even longer before he even makes another film. And so far, they've all been so consistent.
Nice.
I won't lie, Calvin. You had me up until Marilyn Monroe, and then you pulled me back a bit with Anna de Armas. But
what's wrong with Marilyn Monroe?
I just can't stand her.
Did you know her?
No, but I had a ex-girlfriend who was obsessed with her films, and I had to watch them all. And she's not an actress.
Well, Some Like It Hot. That's a great film.
It's awful.
No, you are. There are millions of people who would say you're wrong. But okay.
Right, my honourable mention. I still can't believe none of you are as hyped for this as I am. Mission Impossible 7. I know, Reese, you've not seen them, but
I've seen like one of them.
Which one?
I don't know.
If you haven't seen 4, 5, or 6.
The one where they make a mask. They make a mask out of...
Oh, they do that in every one.
Every single one.
Oh, well, I don't know then.
Yeah, I actually am looking forward to it. I think it's one of the most consistent action franchises
exactly.
ever. Yeah. They're all... Some are pale in comparison to others, but they're all quite consistent. I do enjoy them all.
It equals Marvel. They've just got me now. I trust them with whatever they're going to do. I think the team that they've got on those movies is just fantastic. especially since like with 5 and 6, where they're actually they're bringing in like a through line now. I think they've settled with the director that they're happy with, because that was the gimmick of Mission Impossible. You'll get a new director, a new style every time, but now it's
John
like
Woo.
The worst one. But now they've got Christopher McQuarrie, and it's just like, okay, this is what we want them to be, and I'll go wherever with Mission Impossible.
He seems like he's like a mental guy. Like I saw they released some footage of like them shooting something on top of a moving train, and he just stood on there without like any harnesses, just gazing off into the distance. That's the sort of director you need for those big stunts, who's willing to get in them.
Tom Cruise as well. I know like we might not all love him, but whatever he does, I'm there.
I love his commitment to things.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like he's just a full-blown maniac.
Strapped himself to the side of an airplane for our enjoyment.
And like
he's crazy.
With the last one, when he's like jumping across buildings, so then he misses it and he breaks his foot and he carries on running.
I think that Fallout was just the most impressive action movie I've ever seen. I was just in awe of it. I think I saw it like 6 times.
Well, the toilet fight scene was one of the best action
incredible.
I've seen in a long
Henry
time.
Cavill reloading his arms.
What you need is one of those scenes. It's good to have no music and just have it like it feels so inclusive. It was such a great fight scene.
Right. Anyway, I can't believe we're going from Mission Impossible 7 to what I've got as number 10 on our list. I can't believe this made the cut. So coming in at number 10, Space Jam: A New Legacy.
You say that, but you seem to be the most excited for Space Jam.
I wasn't until I realised who the director is. So it's directed by Malcolm D. Lee, who did Scary Movie 5, Night School, Barbershop. So it's starring LeBron. We've got rid of Michael Jordan, which breaks my heart.
He'll take that personally.
They got rid of Michael Jordan and Pepe Le Pew.
Who next?
No. They're going to replace Bugs.
Never.
I'm sure this film will do. I'm not looking forward to it as much as I thought I would. I think they should just keep it as the first one, because I really liked it, obviously, growing up.
I was obsessed
I think it's such a timely release. I think everything that was going on, it suited. Looney Tunes were huge. I don't think they're as big anymore.
They're not
big anymore.
Michael Jordan was the most famous person on the planet.
Yeah.
So and they had that, but I'm sure it will do well, because just based on nostalgia and how much.
That's what I was going to say. I think nostalgia will like carry me through that film, even if it's not that good. I'll still be like, oh, it's brilliant because Looney Tunes.
Yes, we've got LeBron. We've got all the tunes back. We've got Don Cheadle as the bad guy.
Was he?
Really?
Yeah, I think he's playing like an evil AI.
Because they're not playing the Monstars.
The Monstars are confirmed to not be the villains.
But are they playing like some sort of technology thing?
I was reading up on it before, and the threat is Alien. But that's as much as we get, and that's coming out July 23rd.
These aliens love basketball,
and hopefully,
sport out and out
hopefully we'll get a Bill Murray cameo.
Yeah, hopefully.
He'll do anything.
Needless.
Pop up and
needless
do
but necessary Bill Murray cameo.
I want that Michael Jordan cameo. What's the point?
I don't think
we're not going to get that. No, I don't think he will.
But he'll probably turn up. He'll probably turn up, and like he'll see like LeBron's in it, and he'll rock up onto the court, and he'll be like, "They didn't ask me to return, and I took that personally." And then he'll just dunk. He'll dunk 80 on LeBron.
Michael Jordan is actually the villain in this one. Don Cheadle's like a red herring.
I thought you were going to say Don Cheadle is playing Michael Jordan.
I never thought red herring and Space Jam would be in the same sentence.
Well, we're making strides in this podcast.
Just wait for the Space Jam 2 review, and we're going to be talking all about the style, and it's going to be great. I can't wait to dive deep.
What do we think about LeBron then? Because I thought he was great in Trainwreck. He was one of the standouts of that movie. I thought it was great.
I actually saw like a clip today from Trainwreck when him and Bill Hader have like lunch and he won't pay the bill.
Yeah.
And his comedic timing is great.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
I think he's going to be a better. He's already acted before, so I think he's going to be better than Michael Jordan was in terms of actual.
More than 2 lines.
Yeah.
Because they've got some stills released recently. There's not been like a full trailer, but the Looney Tunes looked 3D.
Did they?
So, I'm not sure if they're making them 3D or they're sticking with a 2D, but I hope they don't make them 3D.
Not sure.
Because it's the game in Tomb World, is there in
I have no idea.
Our World? Because the little clip we were shown with LeBron running out, that looked like it was in Our World. I can't actually remember the clip, but
I'm not sure. I know there's been they've said there's going to be cameos from a bunch of other Warner Brothers properties as well. So
like Harry Potter,
Batman, maybe.
Scooby Doo.
It's just going to be Ready Player One again.
Directed by Zack Snyder.
What's the name of? What's the name? You know, in the first Looney Tunes, the first Space Jam movie, what's the drink that Bugs tells them is it's going to make them better?
Just like Michael's special juice. Oh God, no!
Just have Batman. Just have Batman choking Daffy Duck, being like, "Where is it? Where's Michael's special sports drink?"
I thought we get another spit shine scene.
Spit shine!
Spit shine! I used to love that as a kid. I sat in my room going, spit shine!
I think every time I'm about to clean, I reference a spit shine and no one will laugh, but I'll keep going.
We got you. So there's a couple of controversies surrounding Space Jam: A New Legacy. Obviously, you referenced it before, Jack, but Pepe Le Pew is gone. He's been cancelled and he's no longer in Space Jam 2.
Cancelled.
And
his Twitter account's been deactivated.
And I know it's going to upset some people, but Lola Bunny has been made less sexy. Which, I mean, how are we all feeling about that, guys? I know. I know the 7-year-old in me is a bit heartbroken, but I'm sure I'll get over it.
Yeah, it needs to be done, really, doesn't it?
As long as she can play basketball, she's all right, isn't she?
Yeah, she's a big baller.
Yeah, she was the best. She was the best
player in the team, wasn't she?
Yeah,
she was.
Other than Michael Jordan, obviously. See her running rings round.
And
Michael Jordan breaking his ankles.
Bill Murray was pretty good for the 2 minutes he was on.
After the film was released, Lola Bunny got a 10-year contract with the Philadelphia 76ers.
I'm always surprised in Space Jam when Bill Murray turns up at the end. I'm like, every time I forget, where's he come from?
Do we see him notice that? Is he there when Michael Jordan goes down the hole?
Yeah, he played golf with him. Yeah.
I don't know if it's
his assistant, isn't it?
Yeah,
the guy from Jurassic Park.
I don't know if it's a reference because obviously one of Bill Murray's most famous films that broke him out was Caddyshack.
So you're going to say Garfield too?
No, Caddyshack from after he left SNL.
Yeah.
And then obviously Michael Jordan loved playing golf. So I don't know if it's just they're trying to meet those two things, or they were just like, maybe. Who's free? Is Bill Murray free? Yeah,
He was just on the golf course.
Does he play himself?
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
I think Bill Murray just waits around now until someone just comes around and goes, "Oh, do you just want to be in this, Bill?" And he's like, "Yeah, right." Doesn't ask any questions.
He's one of my. He doesn't have an agent. He just has a phone for work that people will ring.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite actors of all time. I love Bill Murray.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
He can do anything. So I hope to see him in this.
That'd be great. Any more thoughts on?
He would just say yes.
Yeah,
probably. Why not?
Why not?
It'd take him 3 days and he's done.
We can probably ask him to come on this. And he'll say yes.
We haven't got the money for Bill Murray. We haven't got any money. Right.
We'll see how many of this list will have Bill Murray cameos, and it's quite a surprising lot.
I can definitely think of one more.
And speaking of Bill Murray, coming in at number 9, Ghostbusters Afterlife. This is directed by Jason Reitman, who you'll know from Juno, Tully, Up in the Air. It's starring Finn Wolfhard, Carrie Coon, Paul Rudd. As when a single mum and her 2 kids arrive in a small town, they begin to discover their connection to the original Ghostbusters and the secret legacy their grandfather left behind. And that's out on November 11th.
Well, you forgot to mention that the original Busters are in it, mate.
We were going to get to that. I was going to lead in with who's the grandfather. Do we know who the grandfather is?
No,
it's shown briefly in the trailer, but I haven't read it.
Yeah, but I think they've got all the suits there, so I think it kind of leaves it up to.
I was just assuming it was going to be Egon.
Harold. I think it's going to be Harold
Ramis. Yeah,
because he's dead anyway. So
yeah,
he doesn't need to be in it.
Yeah, I quite like the angle of it going to a small town setting now as well. Like the original films were in New York, we had the skyscrapers. I quite like the more, I know it's going to be like more of a coming of age story now, which I'm still a bit unsure about. I quite liked the humor from the old ones, and I don't know if it's really going to pay off when you're dealing with children. But I think Jason Reitman is a great person to direct this sequel, because obviously he's his son.
He's the son, yeah.
So he probably heard about this all growing up, nothing else but Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure he knows.
I completely forgot Jason Reitman was directing this, and then when I remembered, I was like, oh yeah, I'm so much more excited for it now, because I'm a big fan of Jason Reitman movies, and it does look like they're going off the, obviously you got Finn Wolfhard, but they're going for that Stranger Things type of.
Yeah, but he's good at coming of age stories. That's what he's
exactly.
good at. So
because McKenna Grace in it as well, isn't she? And she's quite a good actress for like her age. So I feel like with child actors, like some of them grow up and then you realize they're not good. They were just good for children.
Yeah.
But I think I've seen McKenna Grace in quite a few things, and like she's always been quite good because you know how young she is. Like I watched Annabelle Comes Home, and that film was awful. But like she manages to have a good performance, and she's like the youngest person on screen.
I will watch anything with Carrie Coon in. Has anyone watched The Leftovers?
No.
Am I the only one?
It is good.
I adore that actress. She's just the best. She's incredible. And anything she's
like
in,
that, but with Paul Rudd. I never thought I'd see Paul Rudd in a Ghostbusters film. I'm so happy that I'm getting it.
Yeah, he probably loves the original fills, and they were like, Paul, Ghostbusters? Like, yeah.
Absolutely.
He's going to be this like nerdy, like, you know, guy, didn't he really? Probably knows everything about them.
Yeah.
Like,
it seems like he's got some knowledge on the old old Busters.
He's the refresher for the children
for the
who
kids
don't know anything about
what a Ghostbuster is. So in the trailer, we is he called Slimer?
Slimer.
Yeah, Slimer. Slimer, I think he's called.
Yeah.
Sliman.
Sliman.
Sliman. He's back. So this town just keeps mysteriously shaking and having earthquakes, and it's not any fault lines. Shouldn't be experiencing things like this, but
no loud music.
Whole bunch of ghosts in a well. Apparently,
in a well.
But looks of it, the like demon dogs or whatever they were from the first from the back as well. And
Sigourney Weaver's back apparently.
Yeah, she's on the cast list.
Yeah, they should get. If Rick Moranis is in it, I'm all in.
Yeah,
if he is in it.
I'd be so happy if he pops up.
I love his character from the original.
Is he confirmed to be in it, or
is he? No, I haven't seen anything about it.
I don't know. I
forgot
to look, but
yeah. Just him being chased by those dogs again.
Yeah, so I'm actually more excited for Ghostbusters than I originally expected when I rewatched the trailer, started looking at it.
I keep kind of forgetting that like it's a thing, but then like I get reminded and I'm like, oh yeah,
that first trailer came out like November 2019 or something.
Yeah, ages ago.
Yeah.
I love the sound of the. What's their car called? Has it got a name?
Ecto 1.
Oh,
yeah, I love the sound the horn makes on that when they play it at the end of the trailer, over and over again. I always loved it when I was younger.
Yeah,
but yeah, it'd be interesting.
I don't think we can move off Ghostbusters without talking about the 2016 all-female reboot. What did everyone mind that movie? I thought it was fine.
So for what it was fine. I think it got slated far too much. Chris Hemsworth was great, and so were the
I thought that the cast was fantastic. I thought I really liked Paul Feig's movies, so I thought that the humor worked. I mean, it wasn't great, but I thought it was fine.
It wasn't.
I always enjoy.
I don't think it was as memorable. I can't. I've seen it, but I can't remember anything about it.
I saw it a couple times, but like Kate McKinnon's great.
Yeah, she's always funny, and she's consistently funny in all the films that she's in.
Exactly.
And Chris Hemsworth was great. I can't even remember who else was in it apart from
Melissa McCarthy, Kristen Wiig, and Leslie Jones.
Yeah.
The only thing with that,
I'd watch Kristen Wiig in there.
I didn't like that what I love about the original Ghostbusters, I love that they're these bumbling idiots. They can't shoot their things right, and they just keep, they when they say don't think of anything, and then Dan Aykroyd's characters immediately thinking of something. I just love that about it, and that film seemed to make it, especially in the last fight when they had like pistols and stuff, and they were like everything was slow motion. I was like, what's going on here? They're meant to be a bunch of nerds. How are they doing this?
What I liked about that film, as you mentioned Dan Aykroyd, I fully believe that Dan Aykroyd turned to those people and was like, I will only be in this film if I can write my own lines. Because he turns up, doesn't he, and he spouts all this stuff about, that's not a ghost, it's a type 1, blah, blah, blah. And he just goes, I ain't afraid of no ghost. And this definitely looks like he just wrote his lines and was like, this is what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, 'cause Dan Aykroyd was trying for years to get Ghostbusters going again. And it went through so many different versions.
Yeah.
I think they'll definitely have meteor roles in this one, though.
Yeah, but I like it's a sequel. I
yeah, it's actually in canon to the original. Yeah,
yeah,
that'd be good. Coming in at number 8, we've got Free Guy, directed by Sean Levy. Sean Levy's done a bunch of great movies: Night at the Museum, Real Steel, This Is Where I Leave You.
Real Steel.
Real Steel was fun. So it's starring Ryan Reynolds, Jodie Comer, Joe Keery, Taika Waititi. A bank teller discovers that he's actually an NPC inside a brutal open world video game that releases August 13th. After rewatching the trailer, I'm really excited for Free Guy.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Sort of forgot about it.
I can't wait for live action Wreck-It Ralph.
It basically is, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not. I quite like the look of it, but at the same time, I like that they really ran with that theme. They really pushed it and gone with it, and that's what it's going to be. But I just feel like it might come across as a bit of a gimmick. I would like there to be an actual wholesome plot there, which I think
I feel like Sean Levy's good at that.
Yeah, but I want it to work to the point where it doesn't get overshadowed by the gimmickiness of the entire world.
I get you,
But I do think this film is going to do so well. They could have released a film about this gaming world at a better time.
Yeah,
when everyone's been in lockdown, playing games constantly. So yeah, as soon as this comes out, people are going to flood to go and see it. And obviously Ryan Reynolds, everyone loves this weirdly newfound persona he has, where Deadpool did well, and now he's just that. That is his entire persona.
Yeah,
it works. I think it's just Ryan Reynolds doing Ryan Reynolds, isn't it, really?
Yeah, but he wasn't like this before Deadpool. Deadpool did well.
Yeah.
Everyone liked that comedy, and then he was like, "I've got it now. I'm gonna transform my entire persona, my entire real life persona, and my entire film persona, and I'm just gonna become this amalgamation of quick-witted jokes."
I kind of just got the impression that that's what he was like anyway. But because like you're making your way in Hollywood, you've got to abide by all these rules. And now that he's made it, he's just like, fuck it, I'm just doing it because people love it.
Yeah, was the voices before or after Deadpool?
Oh, that was before.
Before, I thought
because he definitely plays Ryan Reynolds in that. He's definitely is.
No, I think that's
a brand of comedy in that.
I don't think. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think he's the quick-witted Ryan Reynolds in that. I think he plays more of a weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. More of a weird version of himself, really.
Nervous.
Yeah.
I'll just watch because I think in this Taika Waititi is supposed to be the villain.
Yeah, he's the bad guy.
And from the impression I got from the trailer, I think he might have created this game.
The
developer, and I will watch anything that man is involved with. I adore him.
It's a Green Lantern reunion, guys.
Yeah.
Everyone forgets that Taika was in.
I hope they don't do a Green Lantern joke.
They will.
They will as well. Yeah.
I think Jodie Comer is going to be great because I've not seen her in much. I've seen bits of Killing Eve.
Yeah, I've not got around to it.
And she's brilliant in that, from what I've seen of her. So I think she's going to be pretty solid in this. I can see Calvin pulling faces.
Season, mate.
Yeah, I only like the first season of Killing Eve. I think it goes downhill after that, but that's a story for another time.
It's a steady decline.
But yeah, it's weird seeing her in it because I haven't seen her in anything of this size of budget. So she really, when I see her, I don't know if she's going to keep pulling me out of the world, this really engrossing world, because I'm not used to her. I've seen her on like a big-ish BBC drama, and now we're seeing her with so much CGI surrounding her, and I'm just gonna be like, is this real?
She's also in Rise of Skywalker, mate.
Yeah, barely.
They've also got some actual gamers in, haven't they? In the film, I think they got Jacksepticeye in it, and Pokemon's in it as well.
I don't know who any of those people are.
They're like gamers. They're like YouTube gamers and they're like Twitch gamers.
I see.
But I think Jacksepticeye's playing Qbert. I don't know who Pokemon's playing. Also, isn't Channing Tatum in it as well?
Is he?
I'm sure he's on the cast list somewhere. They're not saying what role he is, but
keep talking. I'll IMDb it.
He's going to be hidden under the floorboards the entire film.
Probably just be like a weird, like he'll be in like there'll be like an advert for something, and he'll just be like,
most of the
He is on the cast list apparently. Yeah.
Most of the jokes in the trailer involving Ryan Reynolds, like the joke that worked for me in the trailer was with that guy falling through the window, and he's like, "Oh, tough day at work." That's really funny. But the some of the other jokes, especially the one at the end where they're on the motorbike, and he's like, "Is that a Glock in your pocket?" He's like, "No, it's 2 Glocks." And they're like, and he's like, "Oh, like that. That's not funny to me. That's not even a good joke. You can't be making dick jokes already in the trailer."
I wonder how many more we'll get.
People know what they're expecting.
Maybe in the final cut it'll be 3 Glocks.
Yeah,
the Levy cut.
It's a bazooka.
Coming in at number 7, No Time to Die. It's directed by Kari Joji Fukunaga. You'll know from. Well, above it already. Let me finish this and then we can get to you. So you'll know Fukunaga. He started True Detective. So this is starring Daniel Craig, Lea Seydoux, Rami Malek, Andy de Armas, Jeffrey Wright, Christoph Waltz, who's coming back from Spectre. So Bond has left active service, but his piece is short-lived when Felix Leiter, played by Wright, an old friend from the CIA, turns up asking for help, leading Bond onto the trail of a mysterious villain armed with dangerous new technology, releases September 30th. So I think we can all agree this sounds like the most James Bond plot. This is probably the plot of 6 other James Bond movies.
Yeah, he goes into retirement, but he's back.
Didn't he do that? He did that in Skyfall, didn't he?
Yeah, I never really get excited for James Bond films Well, I never got excited for them anyway. I don't know why. I'm just not. I watch them all, but I'm not as bought into the franchise. I just never get excited about it. But I really like Kari Joji Fukunaga. I think he's an amazing director.
That's why I'm excited, yeah.
True Detective Season 1 is a masterpiece.
So
Maniac is almost a masterpiece. That is great as well. Beast of No Nation is great.
Yeah.
Rendition of Jane Eyre is great. He's just a really good filmmaker. But I don't know, because of it's a franchise, will that drag his directing style back a bit? It's the same with the MCU, where you've got new filmmakers, indie filmmakers putting their own style on it, but they can't go as far as
controlled by the studio. Yeah,
I think it might be a bit like that, but he is a great filmmaker, so that's why I'm even looking forward to this a bit more.
Visually, just from the trailer, I think it's the best looking Bond movie.
I think
of the Daniel Craig era.
I love the way Skyfall looks, though.
Roger Deakins, can do no wrong. Spectre looked really nice as well, but I think that there's something about this where I was like, that looks beautiful.
Like going from the trailer, it looks like an old-fashioned Bond film. Like, I feel like I don't remember much of Spectre, but from what I remember, they concentrate like far too much on like like the story and like, you know, people don't watch Bond movies for that.
I don't like.
People want to watch it for
the problem with Spectre was they tried to tie in,
like
they tried to tie in all the Bond movies into
like people want to watch it just to see
forced.
James Bond shoot some bad guys and you know go after.
I missed off the
women.
Accidentally missed off the cast list. We've got Lashana Lynch from Captain Marvel.
She looks pretty good in the trailer.
Yeah, she's playing the 007
the new 00,
in service. Yeah.
Not Sean Bean.
While Bond is on a retreat somewhere.
I think
she's looking really good in that.
Yeah, I think my issues with this franchise is I just think it needs like drastic changes to be able to hold up. Like, obviously it has changed and evolved over time.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people will be upset by that because look at the backlash most of the casting rumors surrounding it over the last couple of years have got.
Yeah.
But I don't even know what they could do to make it, for me, more interesting. I don't know, like put magic in it or something. Like, if James Bond was a wizard spy, I'd be all over that. That'd be great. It's just like Blofeld's a little goblin. It's like, he's got to go get him. I'd watch that.
Maybe you've lost me on that.
Just send him to space.
Yeah.
Maybe to breathe some life into it, they'll cast Michael Cera as the next Bond.
Yeah,
I'd watch it.
He's really neurotic.
I would watch the shit out of that. That would
just
be
have
unreal.
Daniel Craig die, and then Ben Whishaw should take over.
I don't want Daniel Craig to die.
Not Daniel Craig. It's Bond to die, and then Ben Whishaw takes over.
Yeah, because Daniel Craig is such a good actor, but I feel like his acting chops
he's
are
really held
reined
back
in.
in this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
Because he
everything
doesn't
he's
want to do it. Like he said
Yeah.
so many times, he's sick of being James Bond, but they keep
I
chucking
don't know.
money at him.
I think people took his words out of context that when he said he'd rather slash his wrists. He
Keepin-
literally just finished that last Bond movie, and he was like, "I'm not doing that now."
Keep him as Benoit
Yeah.
Blanc. That's his new
Yeah,
franchise.
yeah. Well, this is his last Bond movie, so
Allegedly, they've said that for the last 3.
oh
but,
no,
yeah.
I think this is it. I think
Yeah, I
he's
think
gone
he's
after
done
this.
after
Yeah,
this.
but yeah, I get what you mean, Calvin, because we see him in Knives Out and Logan Lucky as well.
Yeah,
was
he's great in
just
that.
nuts,
Yeah.
and he's so good at being a weirdo. And
He's so
I watch
good
him
in
in
Knives
Bond.
Out.
I'm like, yeah, he's great, but like, I'd rather him do
I do
so
think
much more.
he is
There's murder.
the best,
A donut.
the best James Bond.
Yeah, he's my favorite.
Like,
yeah, easily.
As far as like the original James Bond in the books go, he is the closest to what was originally written.
Mm.
So I think he's got that going
Scottish.
for him. Yeah.
And blonde.
But I think he's really good, and I look forward to. I love the bit, like the bit with the car where he's just spinning round, shooting people. It looks like the kind of James Bond that like I used to watch when I was younger. I can't wait for it.
I just love gadgets.
Yeah.
Just give me more Bond gadgets.
Yeah, we need a proper old style Bond lair as well. Like someone build something in a volcano or something crazy. We need that back.
Well, yeah. So we got Rami Malek as the villain. I'm not the biggest fan of Rami Malek, but
no,
he knows how to choose scenery, doesn't he? So I guess a Bond villain is
Yeah.
perfect.
Rami Malek always seems like he doesn't want to be talking. Like talking is the most effort to this man.
He got into the wrong job, didn't he?
Like his voice is just so lazy, and like everything he says is just like so dragged out.
He looks like the Phantom of the Opera. That I can't get that out of my head.
Yeah.
It's like this white
yeah.
baby face mask. And I'm quite fed up of Bond villains who like are scarred in some way. So they need to get rid of that. Like you had it with.
Is that not the last 3 of them?
Yeah, everyone's got a scar. Everyone's scarred in some way. Physically,
yeah.
I want better emotional scarring is needed than just this person's been through a lot because their face is fucked, and that makes them a villain now.
Le Chiffre only's got one eye, so stay out his way.
My favorite Bond villain, Le Chiffre.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah,
yeah, just because it's Mad Mikkelsen, really.
Yeah. They replace him with Johnny Depp in the reboot.
Don't all mind. You've got Goldfinger. I mean, come on. Who's not gonna be scared of a guy that could turn you to gold just by touching you?
Or Gold member. I'm a lot more scared of.
I'll tell you who won't be afraid. Michael Cera's Bond.
You won't have a clue what's happening.
Just be unasked.
So that was number 7. Coming in at number 6, we've got Candyman, directed by Nia DaCosta, who is going to direct Captain Marvel 2. She's in pre-production on that now. Starring Yahya Abdul-Mateen II and Tiana Paris. A spiritual sequel to the horror film Candyman from '92 that returns to the now gentrified Chicago neighborhood where the legend began. Releases August 27th.
Got 3 more times to say it because I am sat in front of a mirror right now.
I'll be careful.
I can't wait for this.
Yeah, it looks great.
You know, I love
that trailer
films.
was fantastic.
Yeah, I love that they've come in again with like Jordan. I know it's not John Peel directing it, but he's producing it. His signature. Let's get a R&B song. 2000s
make it creepy.
Just slow it down. I think it's like I like that it kind of goes for like almost like a possession arc in this. Because obviously in the original one you say his name and he pops up and he's like a demon, like kind of Bloody Mary type thing.
I've not seen the original Candyman.
I really enjoy the original. Now, Reese, I think the original does have a similar, because the way Candyman does it is he picks the spirit picks almost a new host in a way, and that does happen in the original one, where someone will take the mantle of Candyman. So I don't know if he's going to be possessing
it a bit
people.
more in this, though, and they. Right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
He just showed up as Tony Todd, like I'm here.
Yeah, and I'm glad they got Tony Todd back.
Yeah, I was hoping they would. I like that they've got Nathan Stewart Jarrett from Misfits. I don't know how big his character's going to be in here, but he's really good in Misfits. So I look forward to seeing like, but I think it's again like with like Calvin said earlier about Jodie Comer. Is it going to be weird to see this guy that I know from like an E4 drama?
You only know from one thing, yeah,
like Hollywood film.
It's like Zoe Ashton from Fresh Meat, that little scene in Nocturnal Animals where she speaks to Amy Adams. That bit always throws me.
Yeah.
I love Nocturnal Animals. What a movie.
Yeah, what a great film.
So I'll watch anything with Yahya, and I think he's. Have we all seen? I know Calvin and Jack, you've seen Watchmen, haven't you? Reese, have you?
It's on my list.
Right,
it's on my list.
Incredible, and is it anything he does? He's just so good, and finally, give him
he's really magnetic.
A meaty lead role. Yeah.
And he has the best name to say.
Yahya Abdul Mateen II, as if it wasn't extra enough. Give him that second in the end. Yeah. So I'm really excited for that. That's August 27th.
It seems like a perfect time to make a sort of remake of this film, especially with Jordan Peele, because I do think it's going to tie heavily with some of the issues at the moment that surround us to do with race and so on. I feel like it's going to lean heavily into that, and I'm all for seeing that. It's a nice little turn it'll be a nice little turn in the film and really give it some like real heart,
make it relevant. I
before we did this, I hadn't even seen the trailer. I watched the trailer today, and I hate horror films with a burning passion. I don't know why people subject themselves to it. I just don't want to be scared in my own home, to be honest. So I watched the trailer and I thought it looked great.
We'll watch it together, Jack. We'll come watch it with you, Jack.
Yeah.
I need to be alone.
Jack,
I need to be alone, and the lights need to be on.
I might have to add that Jack only wants to watch it because he's a really keen apiarist. Really passionate about bees.
Loves bees. Did you say that? Did you say that Lakey Stanfield's in it? Because again, he's on the cast list. He hasn't got a name yet.
Is he
on the cast list?
Oh well,
it's in front of me.
Even
it's in front of me, and his name's there, but he hasn't got a character.
Playing one of the bees.
He voices the bees.
Right, coming in.
He's got a really low mumbly voice as well. So he's going to be a good mumblebee.
Mumblebee. Right, swiftly moving on from that to another horror movie, Jack. But I bet you can't wait. A Quiet Place Part 2. Yet again, directed by John Krasinski, starring Emily Blunt, Cillian Murphy, Jaimin Hansu, and John Krasinski. Following the events of the first film, the Abbott family now face the terrors of the outside world. Forced to venture into the unknown, they realize the creatures that hunt by sound are not the only threats lurking beyond the sacred Sand Path. Releases June 4th.
Well, now I look like a fraud because the two horror movies in this list, I actually want to watch them both.
I hate them.
Well, it goes to show how good they looked, didn't it? Really.
Yeah, I would say this less as a horror. I would say this is like a horror sci-fi zombie hybrid.
Yeah.
Post-apocalyptic. Yeah.
I love the first movie. I thought it was great. Again, it does sort of have a gimmick to it, but I thought the actual heart of the movie, the story, really just put that on the back burner. Like
where they're going to go with this one, because to me it kind of seems like they're looking for like this idea of like a safe haven, and like Cillian Murphy essentially turns around and goes, "There isn't one."
Yeah, and I'm a bit more skeptical on. I like the way the first film went. Like, I'm a bit more skeptical on the scenes where you see it day one happening. I quite like to jump in without seeing any of that because I just think it's like I like to speculate on like what might have happened. I don't like to see it.
Yeah.
But also, there's the other thing where it seems like there's going to be more, like you said with the synopsis, there's going to be other threats. Like it's going to be other people, or there's going to be more traditional zombie-like things. That's what I took away from it. But I don't know. Might be a bit bored of that message, which is often cited in these sort of zombie things, that like the same with The Walking Dead, that it comes to pass that people are the real monsters, and the monsters that are plaguing you actually don't matter that much. I know it's obviously they want to get to that really human element in the story, but I quite liked the other side of it. But we'll see. It could be executed really, really well, but I'm just skeptical with those things.
Yeah, I think well, because you've got John Krasinski returning to direct anyway, so I think he won't just make it so what's the word I'm looking for?
He won't just ramp things up and tell you everything. Basically.
Yeah, I think the first film was very focused on character and that bond they had as a family, and it was so much more about that than it was these monsters. That I've got faith in this movie for it's going to deliver.
It'd be interesting to see them
on board.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. He's in everything.
He says he says no to nothing.
and he's always
DC movies was he in?
Yeah. And he's always bloody good. Yeah. So
I'm looking forward to seeing Cillian Murphy, because Cillian Murphy was in the 28 days later.
Yeah.
I think he's great in that. So, give me another post-apocalyptic film with Cillian Murphy in it.
Yeah.
I can't probably wait to hear him as not a Brummie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably why he was cast, because in 28 Days Later, I'm assuming most people have seen it by now, when Jim gets crazy, like his acting in that is great. And I do think that the character we're going to see in A Quiet Place 2, he's going to be like aiding them, but it seems like he's got his own agendas.
He's got his own issues.
He's got his, and it seems like he's going to do something that's going to force his family to have to act.
Mm. Any more thoughts on A Quiet Place Part 2, guys?
No.
That's right. So we move on. Number 4, we've got The Green Knight, directed by David Lowery, from The Old Man and the Gun, Ghost Story, Pete's Dragon, Ain't Nobody Saints, starring Dev Patel, Alicia Vikander, and Joel Edgerton. A fantasy retelling of the medieval story of Sir Gawain.
Gawain and the Green Knight.
Yeah, releases July 30th.
Yeah,
I completely forgot this was David Lowery. And I love his movies. So
yeah, he's such a good director.
Yeah,
and
is Ghost Story? Sorry, is Ghost Story the one with Martin Freeman in it?
No, that's Casey Affleck.
Yeah,
cool. Because that made me a bit scared then. When you said
that's Ghost Stories.
Stories, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I really like David Lowery as a director. I think he's a really interesting choice. I think he's a really interesting choice to keep working with Disney of all corporations, because his filmmaking so strange. But Pete's Dragon, I would argue, is still one of my. I would argue it's the best. I know the original Pete's Dragon is a technically live action, but the remake, this is the best remake. And he's doing Peter Pan for Disney as well.
Is he?
Yeah, he is. Which I think.
On board with that.
But yeah, I love all of his films that I've seen. I've been looking forward to this film for such a long time. As soon as that trailer dropped, I was in.
Yeah.
And I do love a good Arthurian tale retelling, and I do like how original it looks, and it speaks volumes about David Lowery's sort of directional talent. But it seems like it looks like it's going to be like more of like a medieval trippy fever dream more than anything.
Which I'm all for.
Crazy. Yeah.
My girlfriend's gonna be so torn over this film.
Why?
Because she loves Dev Patel.
Okay.
But she hates it whenever King Arthur's in things and he's not Welsh. Because
King Arthur though.
King Arthur's in it though.
Yeah, Sean Harris.
Oh, it was Sean Harris.
Yeah, and he's not Welsh.
Medieval roles.
And that is going to drive her mad because she hates it.
Well, Dev Patel's not Welsh, and he's played a Welsh character.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's also going to fight. He's also going to fight the Green Knight, which isn't real.
Oh yeah.
No,
He's played by Ralph Ineson. Ralph Ineson.
This sounds like a her problem.
I mean, I'm going to enjoy it, but
I can't wait.
Give us that Welsh representation.
Did any of you see? Not Jack, probably The Witch.
Yeah,
Robert Eggers.
Oh, I've not seen it yet.
Ralph Ineson in that film.
So
what
good.
a performance! He needs to get more of those roles. He's always bit parts, and I'm sure in The Green Knight he's probably going to be more of a bit part. But I would just like to see him in more things.
Yeah, The Witch is so good. Have you guys not seen it?
I want to. It's on my list.
It's
incredible.
So great. But with this as well, it's A24. You can trust them with anything. Everything I've seen of theirs has impressed me so far. There's not one thing I would say is bad or I didn't enjoy. They just seem to have their close-knit group of directors who they're working with, writers, and they just have
know
it down.
what they're doing.
They've really nailed indie filmmaking.
Yeah.
Was it A24 who made Waves?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was immense. I do love most of their films anyway. I couldn't remember if that was it, but yeah, they are bloody good. Fascinating to go by.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to see a guy wins Fox, a little companion. We love a animal companion in films.
Yeah, I didn't even see that in the trailer. I don't remember.
It looks like it howls in the trailer though.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
What a weird fox.
Well, this is a giant in the trailer, Reese, and that's what's throwing you.
It's just a
but we need some sort of continuity somewhere. I can believe in giants, but I don't believe the foxes can howl. Okay,
it's a little cute howl. It's not like a.
That's probably why your girlfriend won't go watch it with you, Reese, because you'll see a giant and then you'll be like, "What a weird fox."
So coming in at number 3, The French Dispatch, the latest film from Wes Anderson, starring Timothy Chalamet, Saoirse Ronan, Frances McDormand, Willem Dafoe. A love letter to journalists set in an outpost of an American newspaper in a fictional 20th century French city that brings to life a collection of stories published in the French Dispatch magazine. Releases sometime in 2021. We haven't got an official release for this yet.
In the casting
sooner the better,
you may as well have just said starring all of Hollywood.
Everyone. I had to limit
starring everyone you've ever seen on film.
Yeah, I'm so glad Jeffrey Wright's in it. The bit of the trailer where he's narrating something, his voice is just so wispy and
we talked
nice.
about this on the Marvel preview, didn't we?
Jeffrey
he just has the
best voice. Yeah.
Like I said to you earlier, I'd never seen a Wes Anderson film.
I can't believe
From what I understand, Adrian Brody is in like nearly all of them. I feel like
Bill Murray is in all but one.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen a lot of Wes Anderson trailers, and I feel like I've seen Adrian Brody in a lot of them.
You need to
do like 3 or 4.
He's in like 3 of them, I think.
To a Wes Anderson day. I know, Jack, binged them all recently.
Yeah,
I think I will watch
this. Like 4. I'd seen like 4 of them, and then I binged. I think I watched 5. Or something, and there was not a single one that I didn't enjoy. They were all bloody good.
Yeah, I can't watch his animated ones though, because his animation stuff freaks me out. I can't.
Fantastic Mr. Fox is one of maybe his most underrated movies.
I've seen a clip of it before, and it makes me uncomfortable.
You don't like stop motion animation?
I like some of it, but like the Wes Anderson films look weird. Like the Isle of Dogs, that looked weird to me. I didn't like the look of it.
Oh, I love stop motion animation. I think it's
my
great.
Favorite part. My favorite,
especially when you realize how hard it is.
Yeah. My favorite part about those films is them talking is so like it's just like a conversation. It's so like monotonous and like they're not really. It's like they're not even trying.
It's all stunted.
Yeah, like George Clooney in Fantastic Mr. Fox. I don't know why. Just really every time he opens his mouth, it makes me laugh.
I really need to watch Fantastic Mr. Fox again.
They are my least favorite Wes Anderson movies, but I do still like them.
Fantastic Mr. Fox is up there for me. Isle of Dogs I didn't love so much.
But, Isle of Dogs was good, but
I
don't like it. Some of those
not what you expect from Wes Anderson.
Yeah, I can see how people are turned off by his filmmaking style. I can see how people get really fatigued by his filmmaking style because his films are always the same. Talk about committing to a style.
Yeah.
But he is a great filmmaker. But I would be interested to see him go out of that vein sometime. Maybe people wouldn't, but imagine him making a film that was nothing like his style, like to sort of. Then that would solidify him as an actual.
See what else he can do. Yeah,
really solid filmmaker.
Give him the Michael Cera James Bond.
Yeah,
a James Bond movie starring Michael Cera, directed by Wes Anderson, would be the weirdest thing.
They're all weird. They're all wearing matching tracksuits.
Watch it. Yeah, Gene Hackman's the villain. He's a bastard.
Reese, get on some Wes Anderson movies, man.
Yeah, I'll get on.
You won't regret it.
I'll probably watch this one because watching the trailer, I was interested.
Yeah,
and I think the cast is really interesting. The concept of it looks really good.
I think
the style of it looks really nice as well.
Yeah,
I think
that's his
the
style
casting
and
of Timothy. Yeah. If you like this one, they're all the same.
Timothy Chalamet in a Wes Anderson movie.
He is.
What a great match!
Exactly. He is. Yeah. He is a Wes Anderson actor.
Yeah, I don't know how big of a party he's going to have in this film, though. He doesn't seem to focus in on him that much in the trailer.
Well, I think it's three. I think the film's split into three separate stories. It's three different stories, and I think they take place in like the past and the present, I guess, because there's scenes where Timothy Chalamet is in black and white, and then there's scenes where he's in color as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it's going to work, but
guys, it's Timothée
Chalamet.
Timothée Chalamet.
I always Wes Anderson as well. He always seems like the plot of this is like another stolen painting, like a Boy with Apple situation. So Wes Anderson just loves people stealing paintings in his films.
He knows what he likes, man. He knows what he likes.
Yeah, and he sticks with it.
Yeah,
sticks with it.
So coming in at number 2, we got The Suicide Squad. The trailer premiered the other day. It's directed by James Gunn from Guardians of the Galaxy, starring Margot Robbie, Idris Elba, John Cena, Joel Kinnaman, and Viola Davis, among many, many more. A bunch of inmates. Yeah, a bunch of inmates. The rest that weren't used in the French Dispatch are in the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, and then the rest of that are in our number 1 pick.
Yeah, we'll get to. So a bunch of inmates and supervillains join the super secret Task Force X. This is a semi-sequel, semi-reboot of the 2016 Suicide Squad by David Ayer. Releases August 6th. I don't know about you guys. I was excited for this anyway. I love Guardians of the Galaxy, so
yeah.
And this looks like James Gunn just unfiltered. Because obviously, you know, Guardians has got to reach a certain demographic, which everyone. But with Suicide Squad, they're like, no, you do what you want, make it as brutal as you want, make it as stupid as you want. I cannot wait, and that trailer just delivered.
Yeah, I spoke about that earlier. With it'd be interesting to see his direction go more familiar territory in James Gunn's style.
Yeah.
Like his older films, if anyone's seen Super or Sliver, they have these really violent, weird
Slither
attributes.
Is probably one of my favorite films of all time.
Really?
I love Slither.
Nice.
Yeah, I was also and it's curious that the trailer just came out for this just after the Snyder cut as well, because it sort of has the same vein. I'm sure this film will do well even if it wasn't James Gunn at the helm, but it'll do even better now because he is doing it. But I think people would still watch it just because they were curious to how it compared to the original, which was obviously totally horrible. Yeah. So I think it's got that same thing going on, and I think dropping the trailer just where they did was such a good way to do it. Just after everyone saw that Zack Snyder's Justice League was a vast improvement, and then they dropped this trailer. But the trailer's better than the whole film of the.
Well, yeah, because there was, after the whole release the Snyder Cut movement, there was a small group of them saying release the Ayer cut. But that will. I mean, they've already said it won't happen. That will never happen when you've got this going on as well.
Yeah.
Because why would you promote 2 Suicide Squad things at the same time? Just stick with this because this is looking great.
Yeah, I think this to me looks
humor works so well in that trailer.
It looks like what a Suicide Squad film should be.
Yeah,
like, it's big, it's loud, it's funny, it's colorful. Like the whole kind of gritty way they went last time was like I don't think
over
it works.
CGI.
Yeah.
And
what I like about this
CGI
is they've kind of essentially said like people are gonna die. Like they say in the posters, don't get too attached.
Don't get too attached.
Like, I feel like we had a Suicide Squad last time, and 2 people died.
Yeah, but they put more characters in it now to accompany for that.
Yeah.
People probably half that cast is gone. Within the first half hour, I think half that cast is gone.
But I like that they kept some of the original cast, because Jay Courtney as Captain Boomerang was the highlight for me in the original film. I just thought he was great, and I'm so glad when they announced that we were keeping some of the characters that he made the cut. Because I do think Joel Kinnaman as well is a really good actor.
Yeah,
Joel Kinnaman.
I'm looking forward to see a better Rick Flag than the weird one that we got in the original.
Yeah, and he's come out and said he was so excited when he read the script, because he was like, I actually get to do some like comedy, and it's something he's never done before, and he's having a blast with it. And this looks like the best version of Harley Quinn we've got so far.
Yeah,
she looks perfect.
Because Birds of Prey was just a bit,
Oh, I love Birds of Prey.
I love Birds of Prey.
I've completely forgotten about it.
I watched it again the other night. I loved it. Yeah.
Who do we think's going to die first?
Who's going to die first? It's going to be
Pete
I reckon
Davidson's
it's Pete Davidson.
Oh, Pete Davidson.
Pete Davidson.
100% gone.
Or Nathan Fillion character is an original character made up by James Gunn based on a different DC character, and his name's TDK.
The detachable kid.
Yeah, but his power is just his arms
come off.
So he will just be a joke, I imagine, because Nathan Fillion is in obviously Guardians of the Galaxy, but only another part.
Yeah.
I still really hold in the idea that Savant, who's played by Michael Rooker, is going to be like quite a big antagonist to the rest of the group in this. Just the way they focused on him in the trailer, and he was like, this is the famous Suicide Squad. I just think he might be misleading. He might kill him off because he's
dead, man.
Because he might kill him off really quickly. But if he doesn't go down that route, it's whatever I'm just going by what the trailer is.
Yeah.
The trailer built him up to be. He was in quite a lot of shots in the trailer. But I wouldn't be surprised. Michael Rooker is
James
best
Gunn,
friends
Michael
with Michael Rooker.
Yeah.
Like, he might be in it for a while. I hope Weasel dies off really quick because I just don't like looking at it.
That's Sean Gunn playing Weasel.
Yeah, but the posters seem to have already decided who the main characters are. You know, there's like 6 or 7 characters on both posters who were blown up, and the other characters aren't on there.
Yeah. I think
I don't know if that's
in this one. I think that I showed James the other day. The description of Pete Davidson's character is his name's Blackguard, a mercenary who is easily manipulated into ruining his own schemes.
That's great.
So, like,
he's dead.
He's dead.
He's gonna shoot himself in the first 10 minutes of the film.
Yeah.
I'd like to.
They've got I think they've got 17 members in this film of the Suicide Squad.
I think they're going to go off in 2 separate teams.
Yeah,
maybe 2 different missions.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me. It looked like Captain Boomerang, Savant, Weasel, Nathan Fillion's character, Pete Davidson's character. They were walking in front of that American flag. So I thought, it was 2 separepart teams. I've got to talk about on this though. John Cena steals.
He's going to be the standout.
He is so funny. And I was
who knows why Madmen do what they do?
I was thinking earlier that it works so well for an ex-wrestler to do this because his comedy is funny because he's so self-deprecating.
Yeah.
Yes, he's like this big, huge, hulking strongman, but he loves to make fun of himself, which I really love about him.
Again, train wreck.
Unlike something like another person, The Rock.
Yeah.
The Rock seems to take his comedy so seriously. It's like in Rampage when he's like choking out, so and he's like, "Don't fight it. That's a big arm." It's like, that's not funny.
It's different. Yeah.
Joking about how strong you are, it's not as funny as
joking about how ridiculous you look.
Yeah.
I love The Rock, but I think John Cena
arms bigger than your head.
Is a better actor than The Rock.
Better comedian for
John
sure.
John Cena he makes me absolutely cry. Even in the trailer when he's just like, when she says like, who would put like 1,000 dicks in a field? And he's like, if I had to eat every one of those dicks for liberty, I would do it.
Yeah, and then he's
like, no problemo.
Yeah, he's like, who knows what madmen do?
Yeah, haven't they confirmed that he's getting a show?
They're filming it now.
He's getting a TV show.
Yeah. But they haven't said if it's a prequel or a sequel.
James Gunn as well.
That's why I was thinking: is he the standout of this, and they want to carry it on, or does he regret killing him off?
Yeah,
and I need more John Cena.
I love his character's motivations, that he wants peace so badly that he'll do awful things to try and get it. Yeah. That's so funny.
He's described Peacemaker as a Captain America if he was a dick.
Yeah.
And that's perfect for this.
Yeah.
Go on.
One other cast member that isn't on any of the posters that we know to be in the film, again, is Taika Waititi.
Yeah.
And everyone assumed that it's going to be Starro, the main villain. But James Gunn on Twitter said, no, it's not. But I was thinking, is that like a misdirection? But before, when he said, he's very honest on Twitter. So I don't know what Taika Waititi is doing.
He's cast.
Is he
his
voicing
character's
Weasel?
name is... No, his cast is Julio Ruiz. That's what he's down as, Julio Ruiz.
Okay.
So I don't know what...
No idea who that is.
That gives absolutely no context.
Okay. As well, is this film like a 15? Is it R-rated or
rated
whatever?
R, yeah.
Yeah, in an R-rated film of this, like, it looks fucking maniacal. Yeah, I can't wait to see Taika Waititi just being let loose comedically as well, because he is just so funny.
I thought the standout from the trailer as well for me was King Shark, voiced by Stallone.
Yeah,
what a ridiculous character!
I like Polka Dot Man. Where he's like, we're all gonna die, and Paul Rudd's like, I hope so.
Sake.
It's weird. It's weird that is now the precedent for films. A lot of films and TV shows, like say The Mandalorian, have this like bring in this like anthropomorphic non-human character that's sort of cute and everyone loves it. That just seems like a big marketing tool at the moment. I love
James
it.
Gunn said they went out of their way to make him not cute. Like gave him a head smaller than his body. His eyes are really small with a big mouth, and he said we went out of our way to make this like the opposite of like Baby Yoda, and Baby Groot.
People will love him regardless. People love.
Oh yeah, he looks great.
Sort of creature that shouldn't be the way it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I just think the characters are so strange. Everything looks so zany. And it seems like since, another James Gunn film, Guardians of the Galaxy, came out, the superhero films have been like less afraid of putting these sort of stories to screen. And I do think
what they can do now. So.
Yeah, there's such original stories. And I do think all of the expanded universes that exist should flood to that.
Yeah, it just looks like, I know we talked about it on the Snyder Cut review, but just give these properties to filmmakers and just let them roll with it. I'm so much less concerned now about it all, fitting into a continuity and it, fitting in. Yeah, like the MCU movies are all they're good, but a lot of them are very samey. But I just want these filmmakers to come in and just make it their own. I'm so much more bothered about that now, and this looks completely like that. Coming in at number 1, Dune, directed by Denis Villeneuve. You'll know from Prisoners, Sicario, Blade Runner 2049, starring Timothée Chalamet, Oscar Isaac, Rebecca Ferguson, Jason Momoa, Josh Brolin, Zendaya, based on a novel by Frank Herbert, focuses on the son of a noble family entrusted with the protection of the most valuable asset and most vital element in the galaxy. Releases September 17th. Calvin, I'll let you go loose on this one. You obviously know the most about Dune out of all 4 of us. Go on.
This is obviously by far my most anticipated film of this year and last year, but it didn't come out.
Yeah, same.
It's one of my favorite books of all time, and I'm so happy that it's finally getting a faithful adaptation, because the adaptations in the past have been not great. I'm still curious to wonder if it'll flop or do well, due to COVID sort of waning its interest by keeping pushing it back. And I think unless you're a fan of this sort of thing, then most people probably won't see it. But then again, I was thinking, will Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya bring more people who are fans of them to come and watch this film? Because it is very weird. I don't know how well modern audiences will deal with some of the stuff. There's a lot of terminology that it won't tell you what it is. You've just got to sort of take it for what it is. The setting is probably nothing like most people have ever seen before. It's so original. It is the grandfather of sci-fi. Everything that came afterwards. It's like the Lord of the Rings of sci-fi, even though I think it's more sci-fantasy. But it's it inspired
Star
everything.
Wars took a lot from Dune.
Star Wars took everything from Dune.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's basically the story about Paul Atreides. He's basically like a lordling. His father is a duke, because the universe essentially is split into fiefdoms, and there's an emperor. So the emperor gifts these dukes planets to look after, and they're from a planet called Caladan, which is very rich and it's got water. And then the emperor sort of gives them a new planet called Arrakis, which is Dune. And it's a planet covered by sand. It's very inhospitable, and it's home to these giant sandworms, which are like the apex predator. They're very dangerous, but they need the planet. The planet is very important because it's home to a drug called a spice melange.
Yeah, and
basically it's vital for space travel, so that's why it's all sought after. So they get this, like the most important planet in the universe, but there's it's a bit like Game of Thrones. There's other houses who are vying for power on it as well. So that's where the drama really kicks off.
Yeah, I mean, I have done. I've not read Dune, but I've done some reading up on it, and I love sci-fi that's so just in its own world. It's so far from what we know. I love that. And like you said, it's just its own made up terminology and stuff. I think that's great. The cast is insane.
Yeah, the casting seems very, very spot on. Timothée Chalamet is Paul Atreides to me. That's the way he's described. The rest of the cast look amazing as well, especially Rebecca Ferguson as the Lady Jessica, who's one of my favorite characters. The only one I'm a bit unsure about is Jason Momoa, just because when I was reading the book, I never really saw his character Duncan Idaho as this sort of guy who brings this much bravado to the table. But I understand that's what Jason Momoa does, and I'm happy to see a change of it, because the line he delivers in the trailer where he's like, "That let's fight like demons." Like, he doesn't say that in the book, but that is an awesome line. But I don't know if the trailer is making it seem more action packed than it's going to be, because if we've seen anything by Denis Villeneuve, like Blade Runner 2049, that's very a slow burn. So I don't know if that'll rub audiences at the wrong way, because in Dune there's like a 60-page chapter where they're just at a dinner. Which I hope they don't cut out, because that's one of the best scenes. But yeah, I don't know. It's going to be very slow.
Even before we saw a trailer or any cast was announced, this immediately was like on my most anticipated for 2020, just because of Denis. Everything he touches is gold.
Yeah,
he is one of my favorite filmmakers today, easily. Like you were saying though, like, will it do well financially? I'd never expected this to do big numbers anyway, really.
Because it's just, if they don't get the second
not
film
that
made,
big general appeal. I mean, reviews will probably help it. But again, Blade Runner flopped, and that was quite possibly the best movie of 2017.
Yeah, it's weird that we say this though, because it is the granddaddy of sci-fi. It is one of the biggest. It's the biggest. It's the biggest sci-fi book ever in sales.
Yeah,
but it's crazy.
As a movie, like, it's not going to be. I don't expect it to be, fast-paced, funny, or things like that that'll bring in general audiences. I think if you're in it, you're in it.
Yeah, and that's why I'm sort of worried that the second half of the film won't get made, because it's not the case of there being two separate stories here. This is one book, and it's obviously split in half for reasons, for maybe it's too long or other pacing issues. But yeah, it'll be a real. If we get a good adaptation for Dune, like a faithful adaptation, and then we don't get the second half, I think a lot of people are going to be really bummed out, and then it'll be like, restore Dune all over Twitter.
I think it'll be one of those, like, obviously by splitting it into two, they do want to tell the whole story. So I mean, it won't have to make $1 billion. It'll have to break even, and they'll probably go ahead with it.
But it hasn't even been greenlit yet. That's what's worrying.
Well, yeah, exactly. They're waiting to see how this one does.
Denis Villeneuve's persistence on it not going on HBO Max, which I think is the right choice, because this looks like a very cinematic experience.
I'd hate to watch this on a TV.
Yeah, and we'll just see how that works out for him. Hopefully it does, and the studios don't get involved too much with it being successful in terms of money and so on.
Jack and Reese, what are we thinking of Dune?
It's good, didn't it? I can't remember. I don't think this was that high up on my list compared to you guys. That's only because I don't know much about it. But like, yeah, it looks really good, and I think, I can see that it's composed by Hans Zimmer. Love that.
Yeah, can't go wrong there.
Yeah,
that trailer was fantastic.
The cast looks good, and I think it's like Calvin says, one of those things that's so big. I feel like that's just what I'm like. I've never read the book, but I heard the name and I was like, oh, I know what that is. So I'm interested in it.
Big worms.
Yeah,
like Tremors.
I think I put this on number 1 on my list as well.
Yeah,
but I haven't read the book either. I was just so drawn in by the trailer. It just looks so good. And it's one of those things, like I was talking to Cal about this earlier. I do want to read the book, but I'm now at a point where I don't know if I want to read it before seeing the film.
Yeah, I'd rather experience the movie and then read the book after.
No, that's not the way to do it. I'm telling you guys, read the book first.
Yeah, a lot of people always say, like, with all film adaptations of books, most people are like, "Oh, the book's better," and like, I don't know, I'm torn. I didn't do it before medium, because by the time I thought about it the first time, it was like a month till the film came out, so I was like, oh well, I'm just not going to bother. But now it's been pushed back so far.
Yeah, be interesting to see how it translates over to screen, actually, because Frank Herbert's writing style is quite strange. So each character that is in a particular scene, usually you would just get the inner thoughts of one of them.
Yeah,
you get the inner thoughts of every single character at any one time.
Oh,
so
Jesus.
when there's like a character who's scheming or is worried about something, that, and then it becomes more about how the characters involved are going to react to it. So say someone's going to betray someone, who it's going to be. There's no mystery, but then it's how the characters sort of weave and interact, and how can they stop this. It's really interesting, but I do think it won't work for a film, and I'm quite looking forward to see them make it more of a mystery to what's going on. I do think that's a much more cinematic experience.
Yeah.
So I do think then the book and the film offer such different experiences, and I don't even mind that I know everything that happens, because there might be changes, because it definitely has to be drastic changes to how
Just
they
to
approach it.
translate it,
Because I know in David Lynch's adaptation, they didn't change that you get all the characters' voices in their heads. So you get like a weird cutaway where it's like someone in their own head and they're just like, the spice melange. We need the spice melange. It's really weird.
I had no idea David Lynch directed the original one.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1984.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah, I've seen parts. I'm no. Not
yeah,
interested.
there was another in the trailer. The song they play is Pink Floyd.
My favorite, one of my favorite Pink Floyd songs.
I thought that was quite an interesting choice, because there's another filmmaker who was going to make a Dune film called Alejandro Jodorowsky. He's a Chilean filmmaker,
yeah,
I think, and he's like a surreal director. Like his films are crazy, and he was going to make Dune, but it failed. There's a documentary about it called Jodorowsky's Dune, but it looked crazy. And I know Pink Floyd were writing a score for him, so I just think that's a really nice nod to that film that didn't get made.
Nice. So that is our top 10 most anticipated movies of 2021. How many of these do we actually think are going to come out? I'm gonna
3.
Yeah, I'll go with half. I'll be optimistic. I'll go with 5.
What come out in the cinema for 2022? We're doing about 5 of the same ones.
Yeah, Dune in 2024.
Every year.
Yeah, it's coming.
Still be my number 1. Yeah.
Thanks as always for listening, guys. Make sure to head to Twitter and follow us at Keeping It Real UK if you're not already. From there, you can find links to our Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. We'd really appreciate it if you could like, subscribe, and rate wherever you can. Helps our show massively. If you are watching on YouTube, sound off in the comments section below with your most anticipated movie of 2021. We will see you again next week with reviews for The Falcon and the Winter Soldier Episode 3 and the Godzilla vs. Kong. Until then, stay safe and we'll see you soon.